Discourse number 14, 24th May, 1979.
संवाद याला काय म्हणायचं संवाद दोघांचे गुरु आणि शिष्य दोघांचे बोलणे.
This is a dialogue, a conversation between God and devotee, between Guru and disciple.
त्याच्यातून ज्ञान म्हणजे युक्ती आणि प्रयुक्ती.
Devotion is an art. By devotion, one becomes a devotee. A devotee means Bhagwan, whose form is consciousness. The devotee is full of love. The lover and the loved are not two.
मुख्य विषय आदि पुरुष आदि नारायण आपण आहे असे जे चेतवले आहे तो चैतन्य देव चैतन्य पुरुष.
Devotee is the original God, the cosmic spirit. Our sense of being is the original God. In spite of all these great qualities, he identified himself as the body and treated it as the body.
म्हणून मुक्त असून बद्ध झाला आहे.
This is the effect of Maya, the illusion due to which, although he is free, he appears to be in bondage.
बद्ध झाला आहे तरी तो मुक्तच आहे. पण कोण तर अवांछित आपण असण्याचे ज्ञान.
All this we are talking about our consciousness, the knowledge we are. If you want to know yourself, you want to know your true identity as God, you must abide in Guru's words and take your knowledge you are as the ultimate, the truth.
जगत रूपाने दिसत असलेले जगत चालक असून सुद्धा दिसताना जगत रूपाने दिसत असलेले
Your consciousness, the knowledge you are, appears as the world, but it is the controller of the world.
ख्याती नाम ब्रह्म म्हणतात.
It is popularly known as Brahman.
पण ते तुम्ही असल्याच्या ज्ञानविरहित नाही.
Brahman is not other than the knowledge you are, your consciousness, your beingness. The listener is hearing what the speaker is speaking, but is it the ear of the listener that is listening? No, it is the God inside that is listening.
कान ऐकत नाही. कानाने ऐकतो तो कानोबा म्हणजे ईश्वर आहे, देव आहे, ब्रह्म आहे.
The listener is Ishvara or Brahman. Form of the listener, the God is the knowledge you are. The knowledge of any kind, the memory of any type, they don't have shape.
आठवण म्हणजे ज्ञान आहे. त्या ज्ञानाला आकृती आहे का?
You are having the memory of meeting some big man. Does it have a shape, a form? Tastes of various types, you have the knowledge of it. Sweet, salty, hot, sour, these are tastes. Do they have shape? Do they have form?
माया म्हणजे भूल भूल म्हणजे चुकला विसरला.
The effect of Maya, the illusion, is forgetfulness. For example, somebody tells you to do something. We forget to do something which we promised to somebody. Similarly, forgetting our true self and remembering the body is due to Maya.
कानाने ऐकणाऱ्या ज्ञानाचे रूप नाही.
One who makes use of the ears to listen, the body is not his form. It is the knowledge, the consciousness that is listening. If consciousness is not there in the body has no value, not even a paisa.
असे योग्यता. पण त्याच्यातले ज्ञान गेल्यानंतर त्याला योग्यता काय आहे?
Even in the case of a multimillionaire whose daily income is over 1,00,000 rupees, his value is because of the consciousness. If that is not there, even his relatives will dispose of his body at the earliest, without which they will not even drink a cup of water.
तर त्याचा त्याग करणे हीच योग्यता.
When there is no consciousness in the body, it is worth disposal. Without consciousness, even the universe is a desolate place.
आत्मज्ञान आहे म्हणून ब्रह्मांडाला मोल आहे.
The universe has value because of the consciousness, because of our knowledge we are. Now what has real value? Is it the universe or the consciousness?
कोणती चिन्ह तुम्हाला आवडली आणि ती निरावतारी किंमत त्याची चढली वाढत गेली.
Any object has value because of your liking for it. If the consciousness likes something, its value increases. In the absence of your sense of being, what is the value of the world?
ते शुद्ध ईश्वर रूप ईश्वर तनु आहे, प्रत्यक्ष ईश्वर दर्शन आहे.
The speaker is speaking, the listener is listening, but one who is listening is the form of God. The consciousness knows this, and consciousness gives attention to consciousness.
लक्ष आहे ते ज्ञानावर आहे, पण कोणत्या आपण असलेल्या.
When the consciousness becomes one with the consciousness, this is the greatest devotion. God says that I am not without my devotee, and my devotee is not without me.
तो असण्याचे ज्ञान हे माझे सनातन रूप आहे.
God says that the knowledge you are is my timeless form.
तो असण्याचे ज्ञान त्याला अन्य गरज कशाची.
When the devotee sees unity with God, what else does he need? The devotee's main liking is for his own consciousness.
त्या ज्ञानाने देवांनी म्हटले हाच अपघात झालाय.
When the consciousness identifies itself with the body, it is the most unfortunate thing. When one knows that one is not the body, one finds that one is already free. One doesn't need any liberation.
मोकळा एवढंच नव्हे तर तो अनंत अपार आहे.
One finds that one is not only free, but one is infinite, boundless.
आत्मजागृती ज्याची झालेली आहे तो सुद्धा देव सोडतो.
Out of the 84 lakh different kinds of species, every living being has to leave the body one day. Human beings are included in it. When an ignorant leaves the body, he or she says that I am dying, I am going, I am finished.
मी आता मरतो, मी खलास होतो असा अर्थ घेऊन नाराजीने मरतो.
An ignorant dies reluctantly with dissatisfaction. In the case of one who has known the consciousness, when he leaves the body, what happens? Such a one sees the vital breath leaving the body separating from it, and then he or she sees himself or herself as infinite, boundless.
अनंताचा अर्थ काय? अंत नाही. अनंत शब्दाचा अर्थ काय आहे? अंत नाही.
Infinite means that which doesn't get finished.
आपण या ज्ञानाच्या ओळखीचा ओळखणारा ज्ञानाचा ज्ञाता जाणता.
A sage or the knower of the consciousness has no coming, no going. Nothing happens to him.
त्याला अंती काय अनुभव येतो देव सोडला तो आत्माने अनंत अपार आहे.
At the end, a sage knows his true nature as infinite, as boundless.
देव सोडायच्या पुढे 5 मिनिटं.
I observed this in the case of the Mahasamadhi day of my Guru, Sri Siddharameshwar Maharaj. 5 minutes before his passing, he told all of his disciples, that now you meditate. Don't worry about me. Nothing is going to happen to me. I am infinite. I am boundless.
ज्ञानी पुरुष मी संपलं मी तुम्ही समजणार असा लोकांच्या दृष्टीने नेला असा अर्थ लागतो तुमच्या दृष्टीने मी संपलो असं झालं नाही.
My Guru said, people will say that I am dead, but no, I am not getting finished. I am merging into my infinite, boundless, true self.
तिथंच आपण काय याचे दर्शन घडले नाही तो संपतो म्हणजे मरतो असा अर्थ होतो.
In the case of one who has not bothered to know himself, such an ignorant one, in his case, there is final death. Not only that death, but at the end, he remembers that he will have to suffer for his good and bad actions. But the knower of the self knows his infinite, boundless nature.
आता आपलं स्वरूप असं आहे, अनंत अपार आहे. आताही संपणार नाही.
The identification with the body has a beginning and end also.
ज्ञान अनंत अपार चिरायू आहे.
But the consciousness is infinite and timeless.
शाश्वत आहे. ते दिवसेंदिवस अधिकच होते म्हणा पण पुणे होत नाही.
You may say that the consciousness increases day by day, but it never becomes less any time. But the identification with the body must have an end, must get finished.
त्यांची नव्हती म्हणते राहणार नाही. जे जे तुमच्या अनुभवात नव्हते
Whatever was not there and appears now is bound to vanish one day. With what identity you are going to die, you consider that.
देव सोडताना तुम्ही आपल्याला काय समजून सोडतं तेवढं बघा. बाकी व्यवहार तुम्ही करणार तो तुम्ही नकेलच नाही तरी होणार आहे. तुम्हाला पुढे कळते आहे.
Due to devotion to God, to Guru, you will come to know there is nothing apart from you, and all things, all your activities happen spontaneously. Your consciousness, your sense of being is of greatest importance, but that is not of a guest, that is your own.
ते ज्ञान झाल्यानंतर त्याला विषयासक्ती होऊन तो बांधला जातो हे म्हणणं खोटं आहे असं म्हणतात.
God says that my devotee has no interest in sense objects.
आणि त्या तो सत्व म्हणून म्हटलं आहे.
The body is made of food juices, food essence, food material, in which there is a quality of this consciousness, beingness.
आत्मप्रेम आत्मज्ञान.
Just as there is sweetness in sugar, there is love, beingness in the food essence.
देवाचं दूध देव अन्नाचे तत्व आहे. त्या सत्वातले सत्व शुद्ध सत्व त्या शुद्ध सत्वाचा गुण प्राण्याला आपण आहे असे जाणवतो, जग आहे असे जाणवतो.
For any living being, due to the pure food essence, there is a sense of being and knowledge that the world is. There is a purification of the food essence and the consciousness due to meditation, due to chanting of mantra, chanting of name.
आणि स्वरूप निश्चय म्हणत जाते.
Due to this devotion, there is a purification of the food essence and removal of all impurities, and the sattva, the food essence, becomes luminous and conducive to self-knowledge.
म्हणजे तो असण्याचे ज्ञान मरते असा अर्थ येतो त्याला.
In the case of an ignorant, there is a loss of everything day by day due to identification with the body and ultimately death.
त्या तत्वामध्ये तो गुण राहत नाही.
In the case of a devotee, due to the purification of sattva, the food essence, the attachment to sense objects, to senses goes. This is the result of the purification of the food essence.
ज्याच्याने जाणपणे जाणीव निर्माण झालेली आहे ते शुद्ध झाल्याने सत्व शुद्ध होणार.
That due to which the consciousness has appeared must be purified. For purification, the impurities in the food essence need removal.
मग ते अन्य विषय भोगासक्ती करतात ते त्याच्याकडे ओढ घेईल कसे.
How can that which is purified get attracted to impurities?
स्वतःचं अंग जेवढं सुखी स्वच्छ होईल सत्वशुद्ध होईल तेवढं स्वतःचे अंग सुखी सुखी सुखी.
Due to this purification, one experiences more and more happiness.
आरामाचा मुख्य अनुभव कुठे येतो. गाढ झोपणे. गाढ झोपण्यामध्ये जो आराम तो ज्ञात्याला जागृतीमध्ये आराम.
What a real devotee achieves ultimately is at ease, comfortable when fully awake. This experience one has in deep sleep, but for a sage there is the same experience while being fully awake. This is the result of purification of sattva, the food essence, due to chanting of God's name, Guru's name, Hari's name.
आत्मचिंतन म्हणजे देवचिंतन नव्हे. मी असे वापरून नव्हे.
This chanting or meditation is not on the body as a man or a woman.
स्त्री हा पुरुष हे देहाचे स्वरूप आहे आत्म्याचे नव्हे.
Man or woman is the form of the body, not of the self. In both the bodies, the knowledge is the same, but knowledge or consciousness is neither man nor woman.
त्या स्त्रीवा पुरुष नव्हे. काय आकृती स्त्रीवा पुरुष बांधली गेलेली आहे. आत्म्यामध्ये आत्मा आत्मी असा भेद नाही.
The vital breath also doesn't have a form. Looking at the body's form, you say whether it is man or woman.
ज्ञान शुद्ध होत गेलं.
Meditation is holding the consciousness by consciousness, beingness by beingness, knowingness by knowingness. Thereby, the consciousness gets purified.
ज्ञान शुद्ध होण्याकरता सत्व शुद्धी झाली पाहिजे.
Also, for purifying the consciousness, the sattva, the food essence, should be purified.
पूर्व पक्षामध्ये पूर्व काळामध्ये सत्वदायी पदार्थ खायचे. गाईला महत्व त्याच्यामुळे दिले जाते.
In the earlier times, in order to purify the sattva, the stress was on the proper diet. That's why cow's milk had so much importance. Cow's milk is pure and clean, and its consumption keeps one away from bad taste, from bad habits.
बाकी दिवसाच्या महात्म्याच्या विचारली जी आहे त्याच्यातून विषय भोगाच्या वासना निर्माण होतात.
By consumption of non-vegetarian food, the attachment for sense pleasure increases.
गाई तिथे ब्राह्मण, ब्राह्मण तिथे गाई. गाईच्या दूध शुद्ध आहे आणि त्याच्या सेवनानं ब्रह्म म्हणून आपणाला ते ज्ञान स्वरूप ज्ञानी होते.
It was believed that consumption of cow's milk helps in the process of self-realization. The cow was associated with Brahmins. Brahmin means the conviction that one is Brahman. It was said that serve cow, serve Brahmin means serve a sage. A Brahmin is he who knows that he is not the body, he is the Brahman. A Brahmin is that who knows that he is not an individual restricted to a body, but he is the limitless consciousness.
सर्वत्र पसरलेले चैतन्य आहे असा ज्याचा निश्चय तो ब्रह्म. तो त्यावेळी काय सेवन करत होता तर गाईचे दूध.
In the olden days, there was lots of consumption of the cow's milk. Those days, all were advised to protect the cow, to protect the sage. Those days, it was believed that consumption of cow's milk is helpful in the process of self-realization.
तर आता ऐकणारे जे ज्ञान आहे त्या ज्ञानाची खात्री झालेली ब्रह्म आहे.
Now you may ask, what is this Brahman? It is the knowledge you are when it is convinced that it is Brahman.
व्यक्ती नव्हे आणि त्यात राज म्हणल्यानंतर होणे.
Here, the individual is transformed into the infinity.
त्या ज्ञानाचा ऱ्हास होणे मावळणे म्हणजे पुष्कळ होणे अनंत अपार.
The consciousness which appears to be restricted in a body finds itself to be the infinite.
कोणी जगामध्ये ज्ञानी असेल तर त्याला अंतकाळात तिची अपेक्षा करतो.
A sage normally awaits the day of his passing. It is because when the vital breath leaves the body separates, one realizes oneself as infinite, boundless.
परमपुरुष असण्याचा माझा अनुभव मला मिळतो आहे.
Then one realizes one's true nature as the absolute.
मग आता इकडे एखाद्या मी माझ्या स्थानाला जाणार.
A sage's normal existence is something like going out to some distant place.
गाडीतून आपण तिथून विमान लागतील त्याला त्याच्यात उतरणे अपेक्षा असते की नाही.
Will he not be eager to return? Similarly, for a sage, the vanishing of the body is realizing the oneness, the aloneness, the wholeness.
सत्व शुद्ध झाल्याशिवाय चित्त शुद्ध होत नाही.
It needs the purification of the individual consciousness. After the purification, when the consciousness knows itself, it is Godhood.
पण ते कोण असं ऐकते आहे जे वक्ता बोलतो शेवट ऐकतो आहे. वक्ता म्हणून ते शुद्ध झालेले ज्ञान होते. ऐकणारे ज्ञान ऐकणारे शुद्ध होते आहे, पवित्र होते आहे, स्वरूप जागृती येते तेव्हा.
We started with the dialogue between God and the devotee. God is the already pure consciousness and the listener is slowly approaching that purification. Due to devotion, one loses interest in sense objects. It is like polishing a metal surface. It shines more and more.
तसं आत्मज्ञानाने आपण असलेल्या ज्ञानाने आपल्याला त्या नाम घोषाने ओंकार घोषाने साधन करता करता ते सिद्ध झाले.
Due to meditation and chanting of Om, the consciousness gets more and more purified.
स्वरूपाचे ते मोकळे 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 असले म्हणजे लहान आणि मोठे नाही. मोकळे म्हणजे मोकळे अनंत अपार.
Just as the activities, likes and dislikes go on changing from childhood to old age due to the spiritual understanding, one's conviction of one's true being as infinite and boundless develops. The consciousness knows its true being.
मग त्याच्या ठिकाणी शुद्ध विषय त्याच्या लायकीचे नाही.
Due to that, the bad states are not for him. The sense objects are not for him. The sense objects are not fit for him, and he is not fit for the sense objects.
तो निर्विषय शुद्ध ब्रह्म पुढे.
As his conviction develops, he becomes Brahman and then realizes his true nature as the Parabrahman.
पूर्ण विषयाची वाढ झाली तेव्हा तो स्वतःला स्वतः कसा एक शुद्ध परब्रह्म म्हणून.
To summarize, it is stated that a sage has no interest in the senses and the sense objects.
ते कोणाला नाही जो देहातीत झाला आहे.
This applies to one who has gone beyond the body.
पण आकाश भरून आहे, आकाश त्याच्यात शांत आहे.
Although a sage appears to be in a small body, he occupies the whole space and the whole space is contained in him. This is sage's own experience.
आपण अनंत अपार असल्याचा तो मोह.
Just as a rich man is happy to know his savings, his richness, similarly, a sage is contented with his true nature, which is infinite, boundless.
असे जाणते ज्ञान जाणतेपणाने म्हणते.
The consciousness knows its true nature as Parabrahman, as Kaivalyam, the wholeness or aloneness.
अकोवळे साधारण केवळ विचार सत्तासुद्धा भक्त झाला. फक्त म्हणजे फक्त देव ते मी, ज्ञान ते मी, चैतन्य ते मी, भगवान ते मी, भगवती ते मी. आपण
One realizes one's true identity as Bhagwan, God, Bhagavati, Goddess.
तर बोलण्याच्या आधी जागेपणाच्या मी ओळखलं मी जागा झालो म्हणून.
Every morning you wake up. Who came to know about waking up without words? It is the one who knows waking first.
विना शब्द जागेपणा आणि जागा झाल्यानंतर शब्द वर्गना आपले चालू होतात.
This is knowing waking before saying it. But thereafter, the flow of words begins.
अकाया शुद्ध ब्रह्म ज्ञान मात्र नाही आहे.
The real meaning of devotion is to abide in Guru's words that I am not the body, I am pure knowledge.
मग त्याच्यात चेतवलेले ज्ञान शुद्ध.
When the sattva or the food essence is purified, the knowledge from that is also pure.
ज्याचा आकार बनला आहे त्याचं खाद्य आहे.
You can see for yourself creation of worms in leftover stale food. The body of the worm is its food.
आकारांना क्षीण झाले की गणपतबाई गेले.
When the food body gets dried up, the consciousness of the worm vanishes.
याचा करता तुम्ही तुमचे ध्यान केले पाहिजे. तुमचे ध्यान करणे म्हणजे कायचं ध्यान नव्हे, ज्ञानाचे ध्यान.
To have better clarity, you must meditate. But this meditation is not on the body, but on the consciousness, on the knowledge you are.
उद्भव होताना काय घडले, नंतर पुढे काय झाले आणि पुढे नंतर त्याचे काय होते वाटतं तुम्हाला.
With this meditation, you will come to know the origin of the consciousness, its maintenance, and also what happens after the consciousness vanishes. And all this knowledge you will get without asking for it, just by meditation.
आत्मज्ञान म्हणजे आणखी ब्रह्म नाही.
There is no Brahman other than self-knowledge. When the knowledge you are, your consciousness is not there, who will say whether the world is or is not, whether the God is or is not?
कशाने आधार काय, कारण काय. तर मुख्य गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवा, अधिष्ठान ते ब्रह्माचे.
The knowledge you are, your consciousness, is the foundation of the world of Brahman.
पुढे चला काय झालं. या परिपाटी विजय आणखी पडे तुटी, विजय सुखाची राधे भेटी पडे मिठी आनंदे. निज सुखासारखे निज सुखाचे उदाहरण अन्य कोणत्याही प्रकारे देखता येणार नाही.
The joy of the self cannot be described by giving any example.
किंवा शब्दार्थ सुद्धा नाही.
There is nothing similar to it, not even words to describe it.
निज सुख म्हणजे निज कोणाला. तर आता जे ऐकते आहे ते ऐकण्याला फक्त ज्ञान आलं.
Knowledge of the knowledge or of the consciousness, is it not the joy of the self.
त्याला आपण आहे ते कळते, ते त्याला जपताय.
All living beings, what are they trying to protect? It is their own consciousness.
मग त्याच्याकरता काय काय करायचं ते करतायत, बरं वाईट सुद्धा.
For survival, they are doing anything. It may be good or bad. Their sense of being must not go. That is their care.
जो जन्माला कोणी आला त्याला काय पाहिजे बोलत, आपण जीवन पाहिजे.
Whoever is born wants to be alive. None is prepared to give up the love to be alive.
शब्द आणि हनी म्हणून आपण असल्याचे ज्ञान, आपण असल्याची आठवण, आपण असल्याचे स्मरण, स्मरणाने स्मरणालाच भजावे.
Our sense of being is Brahman. Our sense of being should worship our sense of being. The memory we are should worship itself.
स्मरण अंधस्मरण घेऊन त्याच्यात रमते, तो विषय आहे.
To take interest in other things is to go away.
स्मरण स्मरणामध्ये मुख्य आहे. स्मरणाचे स्मरण करते आहे, ही भगवत भक्ती आहे, परमात्मा भक्ती आहे, परमात्मा प्रीती आहे, आत्मस्वरूप ज्ञानाचा सागर आहे.
Meditation is worshipping Paramatma to swim in the ocean of self-knowledge.
विषयाचा तुम्ही पेट घेतला, मग विषय आहे कुठे?
In the fire of self-knowledge, the senses and the sense objects, they can't remain.
आणि त्याचे ते रूप ज्ञान गुणे, ज्ञान रूपे सर्व प्राणी मात्रामध्ये नांदते आहे. ते म्हणतात की मला ओळखा.
Bhagavan Sri Krishna says that I am existing in all living beings. Know me, know me.
पण मला ओळखण्याकरता तुम्ही आहात हे साध्य साधन, हे साध्य ते साधन.
Krishna says that to know me, all that you need is your consciousness, the knowledge you are.
तुम्ही आहात हे ज्ञान. तुम्ही आहात या ज्ञानाच्या शिवाय मी नाही, माझ्याशिवाय तुमच्याशिवाय ते ज्ञान नाही.
I am, you know that you are. And because you know that you are, because of that I am. I exist because of that.